Hi, I'm Apex IFSA CEO Dr. Joe Leader. Today at Apex Expo, I'm really happy to be here in the Boeing stand talking about the latest and greatest with Boeing Commercial Airplanes Product Marketing Sustainability Director, Tasha Jackson. Tasha, thanks so much for taking the time today.
I appreciate you being here.
Well, let's start with a more difficult question, because on sustainability, one of the correct criticisms is that aircraft, 98% of the CO2 emissions that come from aircraft are from fuel. What is Boeing doing to address dramatically reducing that carbon footprint for a more sustainable aviation industry?
Absolutely. Aviation, it's an essential part of modern life. We connect people to places and to our planet. So coming up with more sustainable ideas to ensure that we get all of the societal benefits of travel without the adverse impacts of it. So we have a very industry view of how we feel decarbonization is really going to happen, and that has 4 different pathways.
Okay.
So we think fleet renewal is a very large piece of this. So the innovation that we have made in our new generation of aircraft make them 20 to 30% more efficient than the generation of aircraft that they replace. So fleet renewal, if we were to take in our Boeing Commercial Outlook, we think that there's about 3,000 aircraft that are ready for near-term replacement. If we were to take all of those older aircraft and make them into new ones, so old NGs, turn them into MAXes, same thing with the Airbus side, that could reduce aviation's carbon footprint by 36 million metric tons.
Wow.
So fleet renewal alone can really help us in decarbonization. We also think that improving operations, so optimizing operations through all phases of flight, can really help our airline partners to lower their carbon footprint. So thinking about having more optimized flight planning, leveraging real-time information at cruise, and also doing post-flight data analytics, really trying to understand areas where we can improve and reduce our carbon footprint, could have up to a 10% savings in fuel burn and reduction in emissions.
That's significant, yes.
It really is. And then the next 2, those are things that we can do today. We can take advantage of those right now. The next 2 pathways that we have really take a little bit more investment and supply, but it's a look into the future.
Right.
So renewable energy, that's investing in new forms of fuel like sustainable aviation fuels. And that's really twofold for us. We want to build those new forms of SAF fuels, but we also have to prepare our fleets to fly on them. The other pathway is advanced technology. So that's really researching tomorrow's transportation possibilities.
Yes.
So we've invested more than $60 billion in the last 10 years into new technologies. And when you think about our R&D spend, over 75% of that is really tied to sustainable technologies. So the work and the research that we're doing is really going to inform the future of flight.
That's really well said, and you talked about partnerships. So tell me about the partnerships that you're leveraging to actually make sure that it's not all on Boeing's shoulders. So it's not all, as we look towards this massive 2050 goal that we must hit as an industry, how do we make sure that we'll have the right interaction with partners to make everything come together as we need to get to 2050 goal that's unmovable?
Partnerships and collaboration, I think, is the glue that's going to hold all of this together. When we want to reach net zero by the year 2050, that's going to come through working together. So when we can look to innovation as a collaboration, having the opportunity to work with different innovations like our Eco Demonstrator program, where we can test new technology, take it out of the lab, test it in the air, and solve for common challenges that we have across aviation's ecosystem. That's really going to move us forward. That shared common goal is important for us to be able to all work towards together.
Now you have this beautiful display and an incredible booth, the Eco Demonstrator. Take me through it. What are you most proud of on your Eco Demonstrator?
So I'm most proud is that this is the 10th anniversary of our program.
Wow.
So this year and for the next 2 years we'll use a 777-200, and this is a Boeing owned aircraft, and the reason for that is because we are making such big modifications to the aircraft so that we can really test this next round of innovative technologies. We've got partners like Deal and being able to really work towards using like gray water. How could we take the recycled water from hand washing and use it to flush laboratories? That could save 400 pounds of weight on an aircraft.
Right.
We also work with our subsidiaries like Jeppesen and trying to figure out how can we have pilots support single engine taxi procedures. So there's 30 separate technologies being tested in this year. And we've been doing this for 10 years, and we've tested over 230 separate technologies. 1/3 of those have ended up on our products or our partner products. So this is a really amazing opportunity for collaboration.
That's incredible, Tasha. So as we look towards, let's say this is 10 years now, fast forward 10 years from now, where are we and where has Boeing advanced in terms of sustainability, and how has it gotten there?
What I love about Boeing and our engineering is really that all of our business units share the same common goal. That's to innovate and to improve. We want to learn from our older generations, from our other programs, and we want to make sure that we can build a sustainable future of flight. That comes through collaboration with other partners, with governments. That also comes through innovative technologies for what ends up in the air in the future. So anything that is possible is probably being tested by the Boeing company today.
That's great. And do you believe that 10 years from now, we'll have more of a circular aircraft, and that it will be as wonderful and fuel efficient as it is? It will be easier to recycle because it's such a complicated thing to recycle and to take apart once you put it together to last for 30 years. Are we going to get to there, or should we focus energies more on fuel efficiency and carbon reduction?
That's a really great question. I think that there's a couple of different answers that could lead us to what the future looks like. When we design new aircraft, we take sustainability into account from the very beginning. It's not just about carbon emissions for us. We have to have a holistic viewpoint of how our products impact the environment. So that's our manufacturing and our production. That's air quality and noise. That's in service with cabin and interiors. So we really look at the life cycle of our aircraft so that we can understand ways to improve it and to make sure that we're designing it from start to finish with sustainability in mind. So the more we have that focus on the life cycle of our aircraft and our products, services, we're really going to see improvements happen over the next 10 years.
That's great. And as we were talking about Boeing having a fuselage here next year at Apex Expo, one of the things with your team, what are you most proud of, do you think, that as people look forward, what's going to make people in a cabin that is getting lighter and lighter, what are they going to connect with the most in terms of their environment, so that they don't feel like things are being taken away from them, that we don't feel like we're sacrificing as we continuously reduce weight of aircraft?
Yeah, I think that life cycle is really the important piece there. It's not all about weight. It's not all about emissions. There's other things that we need to solve for, and maintaining the passenger experience is one of them. So we're able to work with our partners, our suppliers, our vendors, but also in research and development with universities, with NGOs. We partner with everyone to find more efficient and better materials that can be locally sourced, ones that are a little bit better for the environment and will last longer so they don't end up in a landfill too soon. These are all things that we as an OEM can really support and make sure that that's packaged into a design that will allow our customers to maintain the quality experience.
That's really incredible, Tasha. I genuinely appreciate you taking the time. I know it's a busy time for you, and we can't wait to have you on stage tomorrow. Thanks again.
Thank you so much, Joe.